Hello, good evening, everybody. I see that we are filling up the room. We'll just have a few more video intros because we are sure that we're going to start exactly 5 o'clock. In the next 12 minutes or so, we'll start the webinar proper. So enjoy the video streams that we're sharing. Thank you. Move your speaker to 0. In the interim, I'd like to find out from those of us who are here if we got the links to the Telegram group. If you are able to join us on Facebook, Instagram as well. There are 2 Telegram groups: the Facility Management Training Telegram group and the Association of Facility Management Practitioners Telegram group. Okay, so those comments can be dropped in chats, but the questions and answers you will have from the lessons we're going to be studying or learning today are going to be put in Q&A. Only Q&A for questions that needs response from the trainers in today's session. If you hear my audio well, I would like you to drop a note to say the audio is good so that we know whether we have fixed it right or not. Drop a comment in the chat. Yes, okay, fantastic. All right, so we've gotten the audio right. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Fantastic. All right, thank you. Okay, so I was asking if you had time to, give us a review. Those of you who were here yesterday. Yes, and I sent the video link for yesterday's session to everybody. Those who missed it, and even those who were here, you all got an email that includes the link to yesterday's live stream. I hope you got it for those who missed it. Max is still asking about the recording of yesterday. Okay, so for those who didn't get the recording for yesterday's class, please send a WhatsApp message to the number 080-220-20122, and I'll drop it for you. Again, the number, in case you missed yesterday's session and you have not gotten access to the video, chat up 080-220-20122 on WhatsApp. Or better still, just go to Facebook, sign into your Facebook normally, and search for Max-Migold Limited, our Facebook page. The live stream of yesterday is right on the home page of our Facebook page. Chiruka, yes, you are in the right class for the 2 training. You're asking, this is from Joy Taye. You're asking if you get the slides, the PDF format of the slide. I promise that today, at the end of today's class, I'm going to announce to us how we're going to have access to the slides. We already have the videos, and then the certificates for this short course you're participating in. So stay to the end, and then we'll make that announcement. That's something that I'm happy to do, to give it out. I just need us to be on the same page, understand the conditions for receiving it, and you will definitely receive it. Max-Migold keeps a tracking of all certificates issued. So even if it's a free training certificate, it's listed in our. I was talking about the chats with the link to our Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter pages, and Telegram pages. It's in the chats. Just scroll to it and pick on them one by one and like and follow. And on the Telegram group, you actually, once you are in there, you'll be admitted as a member of those groups, and you can actually, get all live, real-time benefits that shared there all the time. And one good plan we already have in place that's been perfected is to have a regular Telegram interaction. So on a weekly basis, we want to have a 30 minutes interaction live on Telegram, which is something I hope you all will want to be part of. You don't want to miss that. Imagine having 30 minutes of free engagements to learn something new every week. There are about 8 links that were dropped in. Scroll to it and you see all of them. And you can take them out one by one to connect. Thank you, all those who got the email. If you've not seen the email that was sent to you yesterday, please check your emails. Check out the folders so that you can get the email. Some people are still saying they didn't see it. So if you didn't get the email, maybe you registered directly into the webinar and didn't have the email, please send a WhatsApp message to the number 080-220-20122. 080-22-020-122. That number is an official line that will give you response within 24 hours, or as quickly as possible, actually. So please check the emails and then watch the videos. Now, for everyone that goes through the video, even though you are not in class live, you are entitled to whatever we're going to announce, just like everyone else who attended. So go to the video and then submit your survey. That survey is a very critical item for us to identify that you actually attended the class live, or you watched the video, you saw it after the class. So the number again, 080-220-20122. 080-220-20122. 220-20122. I've just dropped it on the chat now. So,
all right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are welcome to today's training. I really hope we gained a lot from yesterday's training, and I'm assuring you that the speakers for today are yet to deliver, the exact thing we need today, even more than what we got yesterday. So by the time we start revealing our speakers for today, you know that we are here for this. So very quickly, please, if you've not joined the link, try to join, send the links to your friends, let everybody join, everyone you know in the industry, try as much as possible to get them to join this link. All right, so I want us to go through some HSC events once again. So for the next 2 hours, you'll be listening to professionals in facility management. So I want you to listen attentively. While listening, avoid staring at your screen for a long time. Try to blink your eyes once in a while. Try to sit down in a comfortable chair and then move the chairs. So you understand. All right. So I would like to introduce our speaker for today. We'll be having 3 speakers for today. So the first person that will be speaking with us this evening, we have the CEO and MD of Max-Migold Limited. So listen to me carefully as I read his profile for us. All right. So Mr. Paul Erubami is currently the CEO of Max-Migold Limited. He's a specialist facility management company providing management, technology, value-added and cost reduction solutions to the property and facility management industry, including FM software and BIM, recruitment, training, audits, assets, and energy management. Max-Migold Company partners with IFMA, which is an International Facility Management Association of Nigeria, with other organizations across the continent in the provision of local facility management trainings offerings, while also running a comprehensive facility management masterclass program that delivers internships and job placement. Paul Erubami holds the Charter of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. He is a certified facility manager of both the IFMA Association and the Institute of Workplace and Facility Management. It teaches the essentials of facility management professional, sustainability facility professional, and the certified facility management credentials with facility management learning systems programs for the IFMA. He is also on the teaching faculty of the University of Lagos Masters in Facility Management program. Mr. Paul is an industrial and business process engineer, a real estate and property manager with 20 years experience working with strategy implementations, operation systems and processes deployments, change management for oil and gas, telecoms, and corporate real estate. He is a graduate of architecture. He has a postgraduate diploma in economics as well as a master's in industrial engineering and operations management from the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. He is currently working on a Doctor of Business Administration degree in entrepreneurship at the Walden University, USA. He has managed some of the largest facility management portfolios in Nigeria, and he has also worked abroad for a few years, including for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Saints, Shell Nigeria IFM project, Nokia Solutions, and Network Africa Hub, among others. Join me this evening as we welcome Mr. Paul Erubami to take us on a journey of facility management. Mr. Paul, you are welcome, sir.
Please take note. Somebody's putting up my audio. That's what's happening. Because while I on mute and I'm talking, the audio goes, I get muted. So, hi, Batman, is the audio still good?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Is the audio still fluctuating? Yes. The audio is good now, right?
Yeah, it's good now.
All right, thank you. Just keep a watch out for my mic from your end in case I get muted again. All right, so what is it about the FMS Craft diploma program that is causing such a rave momentum or buzz in the FM industry? We have an industry that is huge, $250 trillion naira industry in Nigeria, and more than 10 times that value across the continent of Africa. This is an industry that we have not really been able to produce a stock of professionals to manage all the properties that have been built. There's going to be lots more properties to be built in the future, and we have not even gotten close to saturation of the built environment yet. So the opportunities to manage properties or facilities is going to keep growing. This is the fastest growing profession that no matter what industry you are, discipline you have been in, you need to be here. And if you want to run profitable business in facility management, we also have you covered in the FM Mastercraft diploma. So just go to max-migold.com/FMMC or promo.facilityManagementcourses.com and you'll be able to register for the FM Mastercraft diploma. The purpose of the FM Mastercraft diploma program is to equip the facility manager with all of its skills, tools, templates, requisite certificates, and work experience to deliver effective FM services at peak performance. The program will prepare individuals for jobs in facility management as well as equip those wishing to start and grow their own FM companies with the right knowledge and skills to do so. The courses to be covered in the FM diploma is really, really broad and astounding. You just look at this list and you wonder, what is facility management about, right? If you used to think of it as maintenance, that's just a bit of it. If you used to think of it as transactions, supporting the business, that's just a bit of it. If you look at this list, FM Foundation, careers, contracts, strategic planning, human resources, quality management, financial management, workplace services, occupational services, clean and hygiene, fire system, information technology, plumbing, building fabric, sustainability, space management. I mean, just going through this list will tell you you actually hit a jackpot in terms of the broad knowledge you are going to acquire in facility management. And this is part of what we're going to be going through today. Why is FM so broad? What can you do as an upcoming facility manager, or even as an experienced facility manager that has not gotten the training before? What can you do to immediately start becoming effective in providing facility management services? We'll learn all of that today in today's lesson. You'll graduate with NCVM, CMD, Octan, NITAD accredited certificates from Max-Migold. Max-Migold makes bold to be the ones issuing our certificate because we develop the content, we have the faculty, we have the expertise and all the credentials to do what we're doing. So we're not really affiliating under any organization. And if you work in the FM industry, if you've had a need to recruit facility managers, if you've had a need to engage with facility management professionals in the industry, you're already becoming exposed to the almost 500 qualified people that this Mastercraft diploma has churned out and continue to do so. Who's qualified to join the program? New and experienced facility, property, real estate management, and other built environment professionals, including estate agents. So your experience is a value for you. The training will add the knowledge you need and help you change your mind regarding how you related with your stakeholders and delivered on your services. So university graduates, polytechnic graduates from most disciplines, engineering, management, sciences, environmental, social, building, architecture, business, survey, and estates, all are welcome. All other disciplines, if you've worked one way or the other in the built environment, you're welcome. OND SSC holders who have some years of work experience in the built environment are also welcome. So you see how broad-based this is. And when we go, if you were in yesterday's class, you will see why this is so. We emphasize so much on a practical approach of delivering the profession. If you learn and know what to do, you can practice and show that you can do it, and then you can acquire certifications as you grow, then you have all it takes to excel in this profession. And our trainings are very, very well structured. You have classroom, facilitator-led presentations, workshops, practical site visits. You go on tours to see how facility management is done. The people on the current class today are actually out on the field earlier this morning to go and learn from a site. And those are the kind of things where the last week they were out again for another a site tour, training, site inspection, which helps them to connect all of those training that have been done in class. And the same facilitators who take them in class also help them understand how it's practiced in the field. Okay, and all our facilitators for the program are experienced certified FM professionals, building services, engineering consultants, and university academics who help facilitate the program, not just from the knowledge standpoint, but from the practice, because for us, practice is all that matters. If you understand and you can do, then you are in practice, and that's what we try to make out of you. We do 3 academic sessions every year, January, May, and August. We've done the January and May group. The May group are the one just wrapping up. They'll be wrapping up sometime next month. And then in August, we'll start the last batch for the year 2022. And that's, part of why we are here to have this discussion today. Those who are not in Lagos, anywhere in the world, can take the virtual class. In fact, everybody that will not find it convenient to come to Lagos, to the UNILAG campus, can take the virtual class. The virtual class, just like the physical class, runs for 3 months. The virtual class runs only weekdays, Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, after work, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So you will not be able to complain that you don't have time for the program. So wherever you are in the world, across the country, 5 p.m. you log into class on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then for those who opt for the physical, they come to the training center on Saturday, 10 a.m. we start, 4 p.m. we close. It's the same contact hours. The virtual classes are live. They are facilitator-led. That means you are still having to interact with someone as if you're in the class, right? And then the physical one is face-to-face. That's just the difference. You're all face-to-face though, but in one, you're in the presence of each other, while the other is a remote face-to-face. And so the same content covered during the week is also what's going to be covered for the weekend Saturday physical class. Now, but the good thing about that Saturday physical class is that all those who sign up for that class also have access to the virtual class, so they can log in during the week and still participate in those classes, in addition to reinforcing their knowledge on Saturday when they come. The fees have been kept deliberately low, mainly to keep the numbers up on the program. There's a non-refundable application fee of $7,500. The virtual class tuition is $275,000, and the physical class tuition is $350,000. All right, and so if you want to sign up, go to promo.facilitymanagementcourses.com, fill your registration form there. You can do it right now. If you've done that, you have any question, chat us on 080-220-20122, the same number I've shared before, and then send email to training@maxmigold.com. Now, this is the exciting stuff. We made some very fantastic announcements yesterday that we're going to repeat. for the benefit of those who were not able to attend. And then we're going to run the poll again so that all of us, will have a unified poll where everybody, those who were here yesterday and those who are here for the first time today, will also be able to fill in their choices or options for the poll. There are 6 special offers. Each special offer stands independently, and each special offer have their own conditions and timeframes. The first one is the team discounts. Team discount applies 20% automatically on everybody's tuition if you enroll 5 or more from your company. So 10 people, 15 people, 20 people from your company sign up, you get a 20% slash of everybody's tuition. Then, because this week is also my birthday, we set aside 10 million for a special CEO's giveaway. And so this 10 million naira is going to be spread to or distributed to the first 200 to sign up and make their payments before 2nd of July for the August 8th starting of the FMMC. Each person will get a 50,000 naira instant reward for being the first to get on the program for this August batch. What that means is that if between now and 2nd of July, you sign up, you post your payments to the bank, deduct 50,000 naira for yourself. It's part of the giveaway that we're doing just this week. It started yesterday, so I've taken advantage of that, and it's going to run till 2nd of July, which is Saturday next week. So please take advantage of this and get on board. There is an early bird discount, used to be 5%, we've made it 10% just for this particular class, that will run till the 30th of July. So if you are taking a 275K virtual class or a 350K physical class, you just take out 27,500 for the virtual class and 35,000 naira from the physical class and pay the difference as your tuition before the 30th of July. And you can actually pay it in installments till that date. So everything you have a time frame for, you can pay them in installments till that date, right? But when that date crosses, then you fall into another tier if you do not have the full payment as at that time. We have the 50% down payment and balance due in 1 month, which means you can pay 50% now, and then the balance 50% is due in 1 month into the class, so that by the 8th of September, you would have paid the balance 50%. And then we have this exciting offer of a 12-month payment plan using the VFD Microfinance Bank, 3% monthly interest special package, which we spent a lot of time negotiating to bring you this package that is highly guaranteed. And anybody that signs up to this just meets the requirements within a few days, 2 days at the max, and you get your tuition taken care of. And you can pay just a small amount. This whether it's 350 or 275, there's no chance that they're going to pay up to 40,000 or so, something in that range per month, which is going to be very flexible, and you can take that easily without feeling the pinch. And you don't have a chunk to pay upfront. And then we have a 15% alumni referral bonus for those who know our alumni, who the alumni refers to, and you come and say, Mr. A of the alumni is the one sponsoring you. He's the one actually giving you that 15% because we made it available to them. So if they sponsor you to that extent, take the advantage of that if you're not an alumni of this FM Mastercard diploma program. The number is still on the screen, 08022020122. The training at Max-Migold.com is our official training email for you to send proof of payment once you have paid, and promo at .facilitymanagementcourses.com is the main website. The bank account to pay into is on that web page, promo.facilitymanagementcourses.com, and also on Max-Migold.com/FMMC. You can pay straight into the bank and then show the evidence by sending an email to train@Max-Migold.com after you have registered online. So I'll just do a quick run through of the courses to be covered at the FMSC program. We have the FM Foundation, where we're going to have the introductory concepts in facility management, but look out for strategies to foster operational excellence in facility management. That is a powerful aspect of that first class. You will be able to leave from day one with drastic changes to the way you run your operations right now. If you're an FM in the field, you have practical tips and tools to put right to work from day one. And then we have the FM career course. What kind of training do you need? What kind of progression can you take? And what are the opportunities available for you in facility management profession as you grow in your career? So you don't become a professional and you don't know exactly how that profession is going to lead you up, right? We want to make it clear from the beginning that there's a path and you have a lot of options on your way to the top. And then we have the business case presentation skills that has to do with all the communication, how to make a verbal presentation, how to do business case write-ups, how to get approvals. That's a course that will help you excel on the job. And then we have the customer service, leadership, and stakeholder communication. Everything about being that person that is liked, being that person that always gets approved, being that person that's always successful, we'll teach on this program. Leadership tools, customer service, elements of customer service, effective communication, stakeholder communication, and facility management image challenge. And then the strategic facility planning. This is one course that will wow you completely. Many facility managers work in organizations like outsiders. They see themselves as providing support to the core business, who are the others. In this course, you will be taught that until you start thinking, analyzing, and doing things like the core business, you are not providing the right support, right? That level of understanding that will make you really effective and successful, you need to start by understanding your organization and developing strategic plans that aligns before you can start creating plans to act, all right? And we're going to look at procurement and contracting. This is one course that you're going to have a good grasp of. I had a whole day with another organization today just dealing with this as a topic, and so we're going to deal with it in this level of detail with us. SLAs, what are SLAs? How do we handle pre-qualifications, procurement, and stuff like that? Very important. All right. And the human resources, how to get the right people, how to manage their performance, and so on and so forth. We have a course in air conditioning. Of course, everything you need to learn about air conditioning, all the challenges you're having right now. We have an expert coming in for that. Design build commissioning is a program that talks about operational readiness. All the issues you have when you take over a facility, and the complications of managing facilities that you think are not built well, mostly because you didn't have any contribution to decisions that were made when it was being designed and built. You will learn about that process, that whole life cycle process for delivering a new property, and what documentation, what processing will be in place for you to have a seamless transfer to operations. And then don't forget that every profession exists under certain rules and regulations. The building code is a topic that we're going to be learning as part of the FMMC program. And then we're going to spend time to discuss facility condition assessment. If you can't know the condition of the facility, you cannot set up a maintenance program. You must be able to document the defects, document the repairs required, document the costs and the prioritization of all of those actions. And then business preparedness and business continuity. This is really, really strategic stuff. Every time you complain that something happened, it was beyond your control, you need to come and learn this. Everything will come under your control because you have a risk management process you have to put in place. And then asset management, how to set up an asset management program, asset registers, asset tracking, strategies for managing asset life cycle. And then you look at the building fabric and structure. What makes up our building? The walls, the floors, the windows, the doors, the foundation, the roof, and all that. We take time to look at the building, look at common defects, look at kind of maintenance and repairs, both the preventive and the reactive ones that need to be in place to ensure your building fabric is well maintained. And then we're going to look at maintenance planning, the purpose of maintenance planning, how to create a schedule, how to create a PPM plan or program, and how to monitor your maintenance performance is also there. Space planning and move management, we're going to talk about the entire project process for occupying space and managing space and running, moving from one location to another. And then sustainability and energy management. This is a big topic today because we'll be looking at it purely from the standpoint of ethical consideration, morality. We need to save the earth, but now it's beginning to hurt the business. So all of those sustainability considerations, including energy and energy efficiency, will be discussed in this class. And then we have quality management. Quality is all about measuring data, focus on customers, analysis, trending for progress, and so on and so forth. We're going to look at all of that in the quality management class. And then we're going to deal with plumbing, water treatment, sewage treatment, and all of those complications. What you need to know, what to put in place, not to have issues, and how to resolve issues when they come up. And then we have the FM organization. FM organization looks at the levels of FM operations, strategic, tactical, and operational, and looks at all of the different organizational models for putting together your team in various organogram structure. We're going to look at IFM, integrated management, and other contracting models in that particular class. And then we're going to look at financial management, the key tools for managing, thinking, and analyzing about money, total cost of ownership, life cycle costing, facility condition index, budgeting, procurement, and so on and so forth. And then projects. We run series and series of projects in FM. How do we set up project plans? How do we monitor our project? How do we get results? How do we get approval for our projects? And then some of the things that we think we know, how to manage cleaning. If you come to a cleaning class, you'll be surprised how much you will learn from a cleaning class. And then electrical and power maintenance, from generators to transformers to electrical systems to earthing and the rest. Health and safety, this is a very big topic, so broad. To put it into one class is actually a big work. But we bring to you the practical angles of how you can apply straight away and improve your facility. And then we deal with firefighting, equipment maintenance, and then we look at FM technology, all of the various technologies that are built into the building nowadays, and technologies that we use to manage the building as tools for efficiency and effectiveness improvements. And then we look at workplace productivity. This is where we kind of crystallize all that we have been learning. You want to move up in your career. You want to get a new job and put a foot in the door in the profession, step by step, how to get in and how to grow. We will deal with. Most of you who were here yesterday must have heard some concepts, snippets from this particular class. And then we'll look at business. It's not everybody that wants to go and get a job. We're not all looking for work. Many of us are looking for a way to grow our businesses and expand or start businesses in facility management. This particular course will take us through all of that. So that's basically all that the FMMC is. Remember the offers that have been presented. Remember the opportunities that this is for you, and make a decision now that you want to join us in August. All right.
Thank you very much, sir. So I believe all heard what you said. So I will urge each and every one of us to take advantage of the bonus out. Each of these bonus can decide to do for everything. As you know, that the facility management masterclass course is still, it's actually something you don't really want to do. Talk about business implementation, talk how to assess the condition of the facility. You'll be talking a lot of things, of issues. I bet you all of that. It is something you do not do. Please take advantage of the bonus going out now to make it start making payments as soon as you can. So the date for the next week August 8th, and it's going to be running for 3 months bonus training. You don't want to miss that. Okay, we have from we haven't started with that because this is someone who has years to practicing management. So I wanted to keep it attentively and out for. All right, so Timothy an experienced facility management professional and also a certified facility manager with a core interest in facility management business strategy, operational excellence, and a positive customer experience. He is a member of the Association of the National Executive Council, a member of the Association of the Facility Management Practitioners Nigeria. He is currently the head of facility management at IBM. Let's join Mr. Timothy and share the thoughts on the relevance of facility management and operational readiness for all professionals in the environment in Nigeria. Let's welcome Mr. Timothy. I am about to start. Please take the podium, sir.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Due to certain circumstances, I will not be able to share my video. I will apologize for that. However, please can the slide go on? Thank you for the introduction as well. Hey, why facility management? So the question is, why do we do facility management? Why do you want to be a facility manager, or why do you want to play within the facility management industry? Can we move forward? This is just to give us an insight into what facility management is, and then give us an idea of why we do facility management. Now, there are different definitions for facility management. Different people have come up with different approach in terms of saying this is what they think it. Some people will say it's a function that tries to ensure the workplace is doing great, ensure that we can do the core business. But starting from around 2011, ISO came and decided to have an ISO system, a standardization for facility management. And in 2018, ISO, that's the international ISO is International Organization for Standardization, and they now define facility management as an organizational function which integrates people, place, and process. That's the 3P, where within the built environment, for just two things, purpose, they have a purpose, and the purpose are two. They want to improve quality of life of people, improve quality of life of people, and then they want to also ensure that there is an improvement in the productivity of the core business. So why do we do facility management? We want to use three things to achieve two things. We want to use people, place, and process to improve quality of life for people, and then to ensure there is an improvement in productivity of core business. If you are a, whatever it is that you do, you'll be interacting with people. You will do whatever it is that you do in a place. And there are processes that you use. That's a way of how, step by step, how things are done to do those things within the built environment, to ensure that for people within the built environment, for the environment itself, there is quality of life. Then there is productivity of the core business. So wherever, think about any feed and write it in the chat box. I just want to see it few people that can think about any field, anything that anybody does, and I want to relate this to how facility management work. Please just write anything, any field of discipline, any work that you think people do. HR manager. So in HR, the essence, architecture and plumbing, cleaning, accountants, operator, X sector, medical. So it's okay, hospital nurse. So we say for every of the things these people do within those space that they work, the function or why facility management comes in is to ensure that there is improvement of the quality of life for what people do. So a medical laboratory scientist, there is quality of life for him to do his job. He has the right illumination, he has the right agronomies, he has the right he has the right power requirements for his equipment to function at the right time. And then, so because at the way he's able to do his job too, is also his life is enhanced in doing his job by those things that are available to him. And then the work he's doing is able to improve productivity on that work. That is what facility management is. And so wherever it is that you play, whatever it is that you do, you need people, you need a place, you need a process to do just two things: improve quality of life of the people, and then ensure that the business has a product.
I'm sure we'll get Mr. Timothy back on in a minute, so just bear with us for a few seconds.
Can you hear me, please? Okay,
yes,
so I think
back.
I had
Please
to
continue.
Okay, thank you so much. So so we've discussed just to like trace back a little to pick it up from where I stopped. And we said whatever it is we do is using three things to achieve two things. Just always know that there will be people you will interact with, then there will be place where you do things, and then there will be processes that you use. And it is to ensure that there is improved quality of life, and then there is an improvement in the productivity of the core business. Whatever it is that anybody within your space does, whatever your activities towards them is to ensure that you are able to manage the people, you are able to manage the place, and then you're able to follow the processes that are laid down to ensure there is improved quality of life, and then there is productivity that is increased. Now, what is it that makes FM to teach? There are three categorizations that I'm looking at here. The first area is that the FM is a multidisciplinary. It is multidisciplinary. As a matter of fact, from wherever it is you are coming from, FM is it for you. I happen to study chemistry, but today I am in the face of engineers. I'm in face of architects. I'm in the face of real estate, as in people that did real estate, developers, business people. We are all working together, despite the fact that I read chemistry, which is a physical science. Yes, I know you might have, wow. Yes, that's how diverse or how multidisciplinary facility management is. Then, so it accepts wherever it is, wherever background that you're coming from, it accepts it wholeheartedly. But that's not the only thing. Then it is also it also has a multidimensional approach. So there is always a cradle to grave approach to everything. So we all come to life, and then we will die someday. So if you go to a tomb, right? If you go to a burial ground now, you will always see on the tombstones, you will see 1935 1960. Now, we are saying that FM ticks because from that 1935 to 1960, a facility manager plays important role in each of those areas. So when you are designing the workspace, when you are building the workspace, when you start to operate the workspace, you are all involved in that process. And then when the workspace is going to an end, that is, the system is being at disposal, is being demolished, you are all part of that process, and it makes it FMT. So there is nowhere within the built environment that you cannot function. However, it is like the ocean as well. You can swim the world around. Can you please go to the next slide, if it is there, the world map? Yes. So in the world, we have about two major oceans. We have the Pacific, we have the Atlantic Ocean. Facility management, there we have the Indian Ocean. That's the third one. We have the Indian Ocean. Now, facility management cuts across every area. So you can do a handshake between the Pacific and the Atlantic. And then you swim in between the Atlantic, walk in between the lines, and you get to the Indian Ocean. And then you come back to the Pacific again. And then you can do all that within the facility management industry. So it cuts across all areas of life. It has 11 competencies. And I know if you were in the meeting yesterday, you will have learned what the 11 competencies are. The 11 competencies talks about all the areas of life. All the areas of life that you can think about. Across risk management, cuts across how you relate to people in terms of communication, cuts across the work that you need to do for the space, that is for the workplace to actually deliver excellently for the productivity of the business. It cuts across technology that you use as part of a process to ensure the workplace goal. So it cuts across all areas of life. Can we go back to the slide, please? The what makes FM tick. Thank you so much. So it cuts across it. It's like the ocean. You can swim everywhere and you can start everywhere. Within the Nigerian space, within the African context, most of us start from the operation and maintenance competence. That is, we are either in an estate and then they tell us about generator, they tell us about water treatment plant, they tell us about electrical, they tell us about power lines, ensuring all these are applicable to the estate or the office so that it works. A lot of us start from there. We will do, we are the engineer, we are the all of those in those places. But it's good to start from there. But that is not the only place you can swim. So you can be an operations engineer. But you can tomorrow change from an operations engineer to an asset manager, wherein you develop competencies to do more of project development plus managing the assets within those places, doing a risk-based assessment of the assets, using it and linking it up with the finance team to also be able to calculate total cost of ownership, total life cycle costing, return on investment. All these is things that are possible for you as a facility manager. But you start from somewhere. You can start from being a facilities coordinator. You can actually be an account officer for a project in facility management. And then you drive back into the operation and maintenance, drive back into the project management, drive back into the environmental and sustainability, drive sustainability, and drive back to all the other areas of risk management, HSC and all that, and those competencies. And then you can develop all the competencies rampantly that you can now become a full-fledged facility manager. And then what makes, the second aspect of what makes facility management tick is that there are just three basic things that you need to be a facility manager. Some of them are inborn, as in you can just have them naturally. Nobody taught you. And then you can learn these three key things as well. Number one is ability to communicate. You must be able to communicate verbally, writing, presentations, non-verbal. That is, you must be able to use body language to manage, to present what you your position. You must also be able to see and read people, even without they speaking anything. You must be able to read in between the lines in your writing too, and then know what the meanings are to everything that people have around you. If you can do this naturally, very good for you. If you can do this, and if you cannot do this naturally, you need to learn this. And that is one of the things that makes FM tick. Because during you can do that, you solve a whole lot of things, even in the competence of FM. Then number two is to have attention to detail. You are just the person that can always see. Now you alone, now him alone, they see everything. You can have that as a point for you. You can always note things. You are curious and inquisitive. You are the one who will always ask questions about why, when, how, all the time. It's a good point, and it makes facility management tick. It is very, very important in facility management because it is what you see and you can attend to them that actually differentiates you from every other person within that space. I don't know if you've heard this story before of a farmer that went to New York City. New York City is like, it's a concrete jungle. Let me put it that way. That's the best way. I don't know why I can relate it to it in Nigeria, actually. I don't want to say VI. If I say VI, it's most of VI concreted. Yes, we have pavings and all that in VI a lot. But this man is coming from a place like, let me say, where is the most remote place around Lagos? Let's say it's coming from a remote place in Ekiti State, so for an instance. And then there is a cricket in the jungle of the concrete, and there is the sound of vehicles going up and down, and this farmer, where he sits, where he stands, can pick the sound of that cricket and went into a particular spot, picked out the cricket. He's able to pay attention to details. He's able to listen to the sound of what is important for him as a farmer, even in the concrete jungle of VI. Then, being analytical. Now, some people think, when we say, he's too analytical, he can analyze for life. It's a good thing. You can identify issues, you can investigate why they are wrong or why they are right, and then you can solve problems. These are things that makes facility management tick. If you can do these three things, and then you can approach the first three things, which is because it's multidisciplinary, it's multidimensional, and then it's like an ocean wherein you can start from anywhere, and you can add these three key things to it, you will be an excellent facility manager. Can we just go to the next slide? Here, I was just trying, this is where we say from cradle to grave. That is, you will see, this is like a BIM model, trying to bring to perspective all the value chain of a facility, of a building, rather to say. So there is an owner who is starting to, a facility manager can be with that owner to look at what are the interests of the owner. The facility manager can see into the future of every point of this building, of this facility, and pinpoint exactly what needs to be done at every point in time. So he's already aware that peculiarities of this area, environmental factors of where we want to have this development, is already telling the owner and the investor, we need to bring in this kind of people into this kind of project, even from the architectural point, so that we can take care of those things that will haunt us in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years. Have you heard about buildings that they built and until 10 years after, there was no water egress into the facility? But after 10 years, the building started having damp rise on the first floor, on the ground floor rather. But it's until after 10 years. A full-blown facility manager will work with the engineers and will tell you, because of the quality of this leather that we're using right now, it's not a quality, it does a little of quality, but he's not a quality expert. But because he has experience in running the facility over a period of years, or over a period of time, he can tell you what will go wrong with even the drawings alone. And then in construction is there to ensure that all those concerns are already met. So you can have a construction project manager. You can have a construction facility manager. Is there as a consultant within the construction phase, and is using that as well to do end-to-end commissioning. Exactly with commissioning. As they are doing the building, is looking at all the documentations that are needed for the building, and is filing those documentation and putting them appropriately so that he can hand over to the operating facility manager. And then the maintenance manager is already have a schedule or a checklist of whatever it is that they need to do, and they seamlessly just pick up the system and it walks through to the end, even to the disposal. Can we go forward, sir? We can move forward. Now, these are the 11 competencies. I don't need to do this because we did this yesterday. Now, the question now is, we can move forward. The question now is,
You didn't think of food for me.
I'm just starting. They just put me in one estate.
Huh?
And I've been there now for 2 years. The only thing I know is CPM, and that I have to call the generator man. Sincerely speaking, there are so many resources to learn from, and I will tell you. So I will just list this here, and then maybe in the next slide you will get to see what I'm talking about here. So these places are places where you can learn a lot about FM. Now, I'm going to tell you about my experience, just a part of my experience as a facility manager, or how I grew from being a chemistry student.
Timothy, you're muted.
Thank you. And a friend just came by to the farm one day and saw me. I was like, what you do here is more than farming. Are you an engineer? I said, no, I'm a farmer. I just want my plants to have water. And then you have pump, you have tank, you have sprinklers, you have hose, you have this channel. I said, yes. Are you a plumber? I said, no. Do you have plumbing experience? No. But you are doing all this. I said, yes. You are supporting the business more than the business itself. So you are doing more of the facility management for the business. And that was it. And a couple of months later, I packed up the farm and I said, okay, let me see what this facility management is. But I was naive. I just entered, started technical services. Mind you, right from when we were young, you know, in those days when you will be the ones to change the bulb in the house, you'll be the one to change the switches, ensure the television is working well. I am that guy in the house. One machine is bad. I'm that guy in the house that they will know who has qualities because he wants to experiment with it. That's one of the things we say in where we were trying to look at those things. So I was that person. But now coming out of the farming, I just went into doing technical services. The technical services will be maybe someone says they want to climb the roof is leaking. I will call the plumber and all that. And then we'll do that all along. And then I now got an opportunity to be I'm rounding up now, and I got an opportunity to be in a structured organization. And within the structured organization, I was an FM thrown to a project, but I had no idea of the academic areas of what I was doing. So I went back to, can you go back to the preceding slide? I went to IFMA website. These are days when there are no formal trainings just the previous one. Just where we have the resource. I went to IFMA website, got registered when nobody within the organization was registered as an IFMA member. I got registered just to the international. I started attending webinars upon webinars. I started attending, reading white papers, and my report started changing. And that was it for me. Just if my website clicked it for me, then I now knew I need to have more. I need to have a certification. And that was when I had the urge for FMP degree within me. It took me 2 years to raise the funds for the FMP. I got the FMP. The moment I got the FMP, things just changed. And today, I have a CFM. Others are coming on board. And I can encourage you that the facility management career is one that is rewarding if you have all the things that makes facility management tick. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Max-Migold, for the opportunity to share my experience. We appreciate you for all you do within the industry. You have so many children within the industry. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy. That was a whole lot of lecture. Thank you so much. And I believe everyone listening has gained something. And I believe that you are encouraged. I believe that you're encouraged to take the training. So what is exciting is that he has a background in chemistry and yet he's practicing as a facility manager. So that's really what you need to do, is work hard and put your heart to it. All right. And one of the starting steps is taking this facility management mastercraft diploma course. See, don't shut yourself in the leg by letting this opportunity pass away. Take advantage of the bonuses going on right now, and then you would see that it's something worthwhile. Thank you so much, Mr. Timothy, once again. We really appreciate your talk. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll be coming to the next speaker, which is Ajia Zainab Sali. Trust me, this is one woman you would love to listen to over and over and over again. You know, listening to her, I want to encourage you to listen to her bio as I read out her profile. You will know that this is a woman that has gone so far in this field. You will be surprised by the time I start reading out her profile. See, as a man, as a woman, you can become what you want to be. Just take it bit by bit. Start with the facility management mastercraft diploma course, and then start moving up the ladder. All right, so I'm reading out the profile of Ajia Zainab Sali. All right. So Zainab Sali heads various organizations as the managing director as well as the marketing director of the File Rights Limited. She is also currently the managing director of Brains and Hammers Facility Management Limited, Robbins Realtors Limited, White Oak Management Services Limited, and managing director for Check-in Prime Suites and Resorts Limited. She is the executive director of Mita Hotels Limited. Zainab is a fellow and certified management consultant of the Institute of Management Consultants. She is a chartered facility management surveyor of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. She is also certified as the Institute of Workplace and Facility Management. Zainab holds a master's degree in business administration from the University of South Wales, United Kingdom, and degrees bachelor and 2 degrees, which is the Bachelor of Degree and Sciences from the Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Kaduna State, as well as other certification for other professional courses attended. She is trained as a lead auditor for the ISO 41001-2018 with the British Standard Institution Training Academy. Zainab has over 20 years working experience in facility management, property management, general administration, operations and logistics, business development and consultancy, and document management from various industries such as the oil and gas, telecommunications, legal industry, pharmaceutical industry, hospitality, real estate and property management, and the construction industry. All these have given her a wealth of experience in this field and thus the mantle of leadership in the organizations she runs. Zainab also sits on the board of other organizations as an executive director. She is a member of various committees working towards achieving said goals, that will key into the strategic direction for the Association of Facility Management Practitioners in Nigeria. Zainab has always had a passion for sport and sits as a member of the Association of the Former Female Athletes of Nigeria. Please welcome me as I invite Zainab Sali to take up the mic. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you very, very much. I hope everyone can hear me clearly. I'm not sure you can see me clearly, but
yes.
I hope that you
Your
can all
audio
hear
is
me
good.
clearly. Thank you
Okay.
so much for that beautiful introduction, Temitope. And to my colleague, Mr. Rubami, thank you for putting me here to speak to everyone today. I'm very happy to be here. Now, for me, I want to talk slightly differently from what everybody has said today and yesterday. I want to talk more from a point of view of experience, you know, and then basically let you know what got me into facility management. And if I can come into facility management, believe me, any one of you can become a facility manager. So the topic really today is facility management as a career choice in the built environment. That's what it's all about. Can we go to the next slide? Now, I mean, I put out a little bit of a description of what a facility manager does. You know, it just tells you that the job of a facilities manager is very varied. In other words, you can come from any background you want to, or any background or field that you have found yourself in. It doesn't matter where you come from. The most important thing is that you have a passion for the work you do. When you have the passion, you will always want to excel in what you do. That is just the truth. If you are passionate, you will want to excel. So please take these two words that I'm talking about, and then I will discuss a little bit more of my experience so you can understand how I got into facility management. I've been in the industry, so to speak, when there was nothing called facility management. Most of us, and I can speak for my colleague here, Mr. Rubami, when we all got into facility management, there was nothing called facility management. Some of us found ourselves in facility management by accident. But we all have backgrounds. And you know, it's quite interesting when Timothy spoke earlier. He's telling you he had a background in chemistry. I have a background in biochemistry. That's where my science degree is from. I'm a biochemist. But I never practiced biochemistry. But I have that as a background. I also have a Bachelor of Arts. Interesting, Bachelor of Arts, and then you are in facility management. Interesting, isn't it? So I'm trying to make a point to you that it really doesn't matter what you have studied to get into facility management. That's basically what I'm saying. Now, when you become a facility manager, you sit down in an organization and your daily activities will determine what you do and how you're going to build your skills, so to speak. When I started my working career, I was an administrative manager. Administrative manager, facility manager, how does that combine itself? I worked in an organization which also basically an architectural organization. And I was able to understand what the architects were all about. And it was a holistic company. It was a design and build company, actually. So you had architects, you had quantity surveyors, you had civil engineers, you had mechanical and electrical engineers. And imagine me dealing as an administrative manager, an HR manager. And then, of course, I had to deal with all these individuals. What has happened? It's given me people skills. I'm learning to deal with people, okay? That's actually quite key in the facility management industry. Learning how to interact and deal with people. What's that all about? Communication. It is so important that we can all learn to communicate. Can we just go on to the next slide? Oh, before we go, I just put up some little with this man here with various things in terms of what a facility manager does. And you can see the first thing written up there is called communication. We talk about innovation, collaboration, sustainability, and quality. So you can be a human resources manager, you can be an accountant, you can be a project manager, you can be anything, and put all your skills together, harness everything together, and become a facility or a facilities manager. Can we go to the next slide, please? So my question to everybody was, so why not facility management? Why not? Tell me why not? There's no reason why none of us cannot become a facility manager. And I am an example of that. A biochemist with a literature background, yeah? An administrative manager, human resources manager that ended up in facility management. I hope you understand what I'm saying to you. I have all this in the background, but I have become a facilities manager over the years with no formal training in facility management. What happened? During the time of my, my days in the architectural firm, I had someone that says to me one day, we were just sitting down. We had this fantastic building in Victoria Island, and we're just chatting. How do I say? An office complex on one side, and then 2 buildings as a guest house that only had maybe 2 families living on a compound that sits on over 4,000 square meters of land. And we're thinking, what do we do with this land? I only have 2 buildings, it's not raking in money. In the course of discussion, we thought about building a structure. I had a little bit of experience. I'm not an architect, or I'm not a civil engineer, but because of my interaction with the people that I was working with, I had some knowledge about the built environment. So we now decided to go into construction. So what happens? We got a construction company. And of course, what was happening again? I was managing all these people that came to build this structure. So what was the next step? Get tenants to move into this structure. And then what's the next step? To make sure that the infrastructure that was provided was well maintained. What have I just described? Facility management. Now, because I had an administrative background, I already had an idea of what it is that I wanted to achieve. And like I said, when you're passionate at something, you would always want to excel. So what happened? I started managing that particular property. So what was I doing? I had engineers working under me. I had people that were maintaining my pools, having to deal with different vendors for anything that I wanted to do, had to get people that were doing cleaning of the building, had to get gardeners. You know, these are just a few of the things that, and then of course, when we had to do painting maintenance, what happens? You had to get painters and individuals that will come and work for you. So what was this all about? I was already doing facility management. That's basically what I was doing. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So I've just put something there that says a lot of things. Maintenance, finance and cost, real estate. That's what facility management is all about. Now, today, what are we seeing? The real estate climate is changing. It's extremely dynamic. So what do people want to do? And I have just explained that. You want to get value for your property. Any property that you have, you want to get value for it. So what you want to also do is spend less. And of course, make sure that you can maximize what your property can do for you. And at the same time, ensure that you can maintain the infrastructure. That's what facility management is all about. So I've put something up here that says the real estate is a dynamic market where real estate management is a priority of growing companies in recent times. Their outlook is to do more with less, which demands dedicated oversight from facility managers. So concepts are changing from sitting at the desk to moving and being able to manage your spaces properly, anywhere you find yourself in. So for most organizations, the changing market offers opportunities and the facility managers are needed to help to recognize these opportunities. Today's facility managers or facilities managers are quite literally shaping the real estate climate of tomorrow with everything that we're learning. And I'm just going to chip in something here before we move into the next slide. You have an opportunity with Max-Migold. It's very important for those of you that are interested in pursuing the facility management course or line, or you want to toe that line, to try and understand a little bit more about the fundamentals of what facility management is about. And for all of you that want to, I believe this course is an exception. You're being trained by one of the best in the field. He's IFMA certified. So if a lot of you go onto their websites and in terms IFMA, you'll understand that it means International Facilities Management Association. And Mr. Erubami is trained by that, and he is entitled to go and give lectures, coaching, and everything. And it's very important that that happens. So I'd like to say that to every one of you that is here. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So what are the opportunities available in facilities management? Just look at that little diagram that I've put up there. Cleaning services, support services. It doesn't matter if you belong to any one of these fields. You can be a security manager. You could be an office, should I say, an office assistant, or an office manager. You can be somebody in the property market. You can be someone that is a health and safety inspector. No matter the field you go into, there is a role for you in facility management. The long and short of it is that you oversee all these things holistically. Can we go into the next slide? So I've just put up something little there. I mean, these are some of the, do I say, facility management opportunities that you can all go into if you feel like it. You can become a strategist, you can become a planner, you can become an analyst, you can go into planning and logistics, you can become a compliance officer. There's so many things involved in facility management. And I'll still like to go back to what I've said before. You need to be passionate about what you do. When you're passionate about it, you will definitely want to excel. So excelling and doing well in what you want to do is what is going to make you a very successful facility manager. Next slide, please. So what's the value? Now, I'm just going on to the second one there, which says a good facility manager will improve the overall operational efficiency of an organization. Every single facility manager possesses the necessary tools to work efficiently and effectively and to assist in the day-to-day operations of any business smoothly and efficiently. Understand what I've said there. It doesn't matter your background or where you're coming from. But to be very honest, when you learn and you understand more about facility management, you will realize the tools are given to you. And you can get that from this facility management course that Max-Migold is offering. Proper facilities management is pivotal to improve the efficiency and productivity of a business. It ensures a more cost-effective working process within a facility. So what happens after the building and I got into facility management? I moved on to the next step because that is where I wanted to be. So I started, looking for other things. How do I better myself? How do I understand my industry better? I went into the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. I am what we now call a Chartered Facilities Management Surveyor under RICS, which is the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. I also happen to be a certified member of the International Workplace and Facilities Management. These are all things that you get yourself involved in to understand more about your career path that you've taken. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I would like to end it here and try to encourage all of you, wherever you are in your life or in your work life, you can become a facilities manager. The doors are open, the doors are wide, right? You don't really have to have master's degrees and all sorts. No, you don't. I'm still going back to the same thing. Be passionate about what you do. When you become passionate, you will want to excel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, thank you so much, That was a whole lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, most welcome.
Everyone hearing this is already encouraged. Honestly, I'm encouraged. Someone with a field of chemistry becoming a certified and a chartered facility manager, having a whole lot of certifications. So that shows that there is no limit to what you can do, except you don't want to put your heart to it. And one of the things what we want you to do is taking it one step after the other by starting to take the basic course in facility management. FMMC is a basic course that you should not miss out. Grab this opportunity now and then take advantage of the bonus going out to take the training. The training will be starting August 8th. So we have just less than 2 months down. So you can start getting prepared and then pay regarding the facility management diploma course. So right now, I'll be handing over to the MD CEO of Max-Migold for his lecture this evening. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to come back and take today's lecture. I hope those who were here yesterday gained a lot from the lectures we've had. And so I would promise to make today the real bumper package because today we are looking specifically at particular processes, action steps, tools and tips you can take straight to work as an FM. In fact, after this session, you can, with the notes you would have made and the action points you would have prompted yourself to start acting on, you can begin to act like a professional facility manager. I'm not going to start with the introduction of facility management again. You already heard that from Mr. Timothy earlier on. It was apt that he actually added that to his presentation. I want to start by saying, don't think of facility management as a technical discipline. I hear of employers saying we are looking for hands-on facility managers. And when I ask them what they mean by hands-on, they're actually looking for technicians. That's not facility managers. Facility managers are people who manage resources, who manage people, who manage processes, who manage finances. They manage assets. It is a management discipline. Once upon a time, we went for an interview and we had someone who wanted to really impress us about how good he was as an FM. And he said, when the power goes out, you see me running helter-skelter. And we laughed and said, uh-oh, this guy does not know what facility management is. You are not reacting in facility management. When somebody came to me at another point to say he was fired because the air conditioning stopped working in a certain officials.
So hello everyone, can you hear me? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, proceed, please.
All right, we are sorry about that. We have a bit of network issue. We'll be back so soon. So just like the aim to be back soon. So just like we mentioned, I would like each and every one of us to take opportunity of the sales of the bonus going on right now. We have the sales bonus is classified into 3. Right, so I would really want you to take advantage of it. Training will be starting August 8th and it will be running for 3 months, right? So you'll be covering an elaborate curriculum in facility management. I don't want you to miss it. All right, so let's have Mr. Paul back.
Thank you so much. To share the slide. Is it sharing already? All right. I hope you see my screen and my audio is back up. My audio is good, right? All right, sorry about that break in transmission. Facility management is about people. You're managing people. It's about perception. People's perception is what determines your ultimate success. Your users are the people that determines whether you're successful or not. It's not just technical skills. It's more managerial. Every business, every organization, every endeavor of human. The human family exists in some form of space. Whether you're working, whether you're praying or worshiping, whether you're playing or recreating, whether you are educating, whatever you're doing as a human endeavor or living somewhere, residing, you are in a place on FM, deliver the right place with the right services to ensure that you can do what you are there for. We work using processes and technology. Technology is very critical to everything we do today. And so when you come on board any profession, you need to find out what technology, what changes, what innovation is happening in that profession, so you can be in the forefront of that. So I wanted to look at the big picture. Many people start their FM career strictly at the tactical planning level. In fact, in some places, you start FM as execution level at the bottom, where you are given a key to a store where there are materials, you are given a spreadsheet where you are taking a record of your diesel, and then you are just going around doing one check or the other. You are doing those ones, those are execution level. But you can see from this big picture strategic framework of FM that there are 4 levels above the execution level. And the first level that is most important is the strategic purpose level, which determines the reason for the existence of the organization. Why should an FM know why your business, why the organization exists, what kind of customers we serve, and what kind of output we give? That's because you are a strategic enabler. If your provision of spaces and services is to be exactly aligned to what the organization's strategic purpose is, what the customer requires, then you must understand that level of strategy. When the company creates strategic objectives with mission, vision, values, we call those corporate strategy, right? Those corporate strategy are embedded in this second level called the strategic planning level. It is at this level the organization creates a strategy that responds to its customers' requirements, understand the customer, and create a strategy that responds to the customer's requirements. The business unit strategic planning level is where the FM starts its strategy. But this FM strategy, made up of the FM portfolio strategy or the strategic facility plan or the site plan, which we also call the real estate master plan, is a strategy that must be aligned closely to that of the organization, corporate strategy, and also aligned to the strategies of all the other business units. This is where you need to remind yourself that even though you are an FM department head, You are not at work like any other department head. You are not at work with them. You are not at work in competition. You are there to serve them. Why? For you to ensure the organization achieves its goal, you must ensure that all the other departments are achieving their goal. You are the only department that needs to have a double alignment, an alignment with the business unit's strategies and an alignment with the corporate strategy. In essence, you cannot even get to the point of planning budgets, operations plans, maintenance plans, and design and construction plans without fully understanding the strategy of the organization and the strategy of all the business units. Everything you do at the tactical planning level will all be mistakes. And when you get into execution, you are executing all of your mistakes. It's called groping in the dark. You wake up and say, I'm going to create a budget. Based on what are you anchoring that budget on? No strategy, no long-term plans, no understanding of where the organization is going and how the current services is meeting current demand and how the future demand will be met. What kind of service are you going to design to help you meet those? This is the fall of many FM careers. You run through your career running errands. You never get into the strategic picture. You don't rise and you complain that FM is not a fulfilling career, but that is not the correct situation. The truth is you have not brought in strategic thinking, strategic planning, and created that alignment that provides the relevance for the profession that you are in. And then by the time you get to execution, you are just acting out what you have planned tactically, and then you measure performance. You have reporting, you have tools for gathering information about how you are doing regarding your tactical plans and strategic plans, and seeing how those things can be used to validate the strategy. Those data that comes in your reports, are they giving you the kind of information that can help you determine whether the strategy you have in place is meeting this corporate strategy, the strategy is adequate, is fulfilling the requirements of all the other business units, or you are just walking running helter-skelter, like I said before. FM is delivered at 3 management levels. You have the strategic level, you have the tactical level, and you have the operational level. At these 3 levels, you are putting in place long-term, high-level, big picture plans. For example, you are creating capital asset replacement planning using life cycle methodologies. You are putting in place analysis and business cases for contracting strategy, for business preparedness and business continuity, for productivity, technology deployment, and so on and so forth. These are things you are putting, financial metrics for how to decide on a new location, how to set up new services and put in place new contracts. You are doing those at a strategic level. By the time you get to the tactical level, these are typically activities that spans 1 year, plans that span 1 year. So you're looking at the budget, you're looking at the contract to put in place from year to year, and you're looking at the staffing that, how to select job descriptions, how to put people in place, how to create project plans, how to appoint project managers to execute. At the operational level, this is the doing level. This is the level where you take all what has been planned and you start acting on them to trend what progress or what lack of progress you are having in your activities, and seeing how this contributes to organizational success. If you operate at any of these levels, at some point you need to be able to elevate yourself and your career up from operational to tactical and up from tactical to strategic, because there are fewer heads, people, resources at the but the impact of right thinking, good processes, good technology that is decided at strategic level has a huge impact on cost, efficiencies, and performance. All right, so that's what this is talking about. And strategic planning starts by understanding the organization. What kind of organization are you serving? If I used to work for a church and I'm now working for an oil and gas company, Am I going to carry the same mindset and the same solutions I used to give down to this company? I used to work for a mall and I'm now moving into a hospital. Am I going to use the same approach? I need to understand not just the industry that I'm in, I need to understand the organization itself. What are the cost drivers? What are the revenue sources? What are the competitive factors? What are the socio-political economic factors that are affecting my business? If I don't know it, all of those proposals I'm putting forward might be a mistake. I'll be driving in a different direction from what management is thinking about. Part of understanding means also understanding the kind of assets you have. Your asset register has built drawings of all your facilities, the material schedule of all that has built into your facility. You will have knowledge of facilities we have, and then be able to do some analysis like SWOT and scans, scenario planning, and then create some plans to help you, implement those changes that come out of the gap analysis you've done, and then take action to implement, all of this strategy. So this may not be the forum to have an in-depth understanding of strategy, because strategic thinking takes time to build. Many FMs don't think yet that they should be thinking strategic on behalf of the organization, right? So when we introduce this as a concept, as something you need to learn as an FM, it's a bit of a struggle. It sounds like, what happens to the marketing guys? What happens to the operations guys? Why are they not the one learning? They're also learning strategy. But because you want to speak the language of management, because you want to speak the language of the C-suite, so that they can understand you, you can understand them, you need to understand what the business is about. So you can create solutions that help the business to grow. And then you must understand the facility. If you don't have a asset register right now, you've not started managing facility yet. Even if you've been there for years, you've just been groping, wasting so much time because you don't know what you are managing. You can't manage what you don't know. So understand the asset level, gather data, on square footages, specialization, what kind of services are currently there, future forecast of services that need to be done. Do SWOT analysis on your business. Do SWOT analysis on your business. What are we good at internally, our strengths? What are we weak at internally, our negatives, which is our weaknesses? What are we good at externally? What opportunities do we have, and what is our threats, the negatives? If you are able to do some of this analysis, you know where your organization stands at the moment. You know when to send that proposal forward for another 10 million in spending, and when to say, no, don't worry, we have a solution that does not require such amount of spending, because you know exactly the feeling, the pulse of your organization, because you are doing some of this analysis. Even if it's just for your own good, you read about your organization in the annual financial report, rated account that is submitted to CAC and FRS, that's published in management report that is published to the organization. Just reading to get an understanding of what the organization is, what we are going through as an organization, will help you think and produce better analysis and better options that will meet management's expectation. And then you develop further analysis, that leads to a plan that can help you close the gap. If I know where our business properties are at this point, the condition, the state of the assets, how many of it, how adequate they are, and I know exactly where the business is, how many people are working in the business, what are the challenges the business is currently having, what is the good potential, I can create a gap analysis by estimating what the business will be doing in the next 2-3 years, and also estimating what I will need to be doing to match that. There's a whole lot that goes into this planning. And then those plans are called the strategic plans. So I create a plan to say, we'll have this location, we'll be able to move from a rented place to an own place, because we'll be able to deploy less fossil fuel and have more renewable energy in our energy mix. We'll be able to have a concentration of our workers living in a certain geographical location. These are high-level management thinking, management decision-making that you need to start being part of. That's the only way your facility management as a strategic enabler of business success will make sense. If you don't understand the business, you cannot create plans that can support the business. And then you produce outputs that helps the organization to move forward. Strategic plan, the master plan, And these are some of the things that you're going to learn in greater detail in the FM master diploma. And one of the key outputs really is that you are going to create either a new space with services to match, or reconfigure or reformat your existing space, so that, because all you do as an FM is think of what people want to achieve in their spaces, right? And then how do you make that space functional, provide the services that will help them not worry about their environment and their spaces, but more about how to focus on what they're doing. So let's look at the development cycle for properties. We have the planning stage, the design stage, the construction stage, the testing, the commissioning, the handover, and the facility management. These stages, we say we need to have the FM's input at every stage, right? But the FM needs to know what his input will be. At the planning stage, we're making sure about what to build, what to buy, who we are focusing as target for customers, who are the users. Those are the decisions we're making. The FM is supposed to have experienced users, knows the requirements and knows how to build those requirements into the planning. When we go into design, we have a brief. The designers look at the brief, they do some programming, they do user requirements gathering, and then they create specific designs that help to interpret that brief into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dimensional images and drawings and specifications and write-ups that includes drawings, that includes the base of quantities, that includes specification writing, that includes engineering consultants, specifications for different types of engineering inputs into the process. And all of that goes into construction. The project management plan is created, and that whole design is developed into a real life project where we are trying to interpret the design and constructing it to deliver what was intended. Testing is that step that helps to check if the items, the infrastructure, the assets that have been built are corresponding to the operating parameters that have been set. For example, how much load-bearing capacity can this concrete slab have? There's a specification that has been specified before. Test to be sure that this concrete slab can do it. Test that the electricity can be, in order the elevator and all of those can do. You have testing parameters that must be followed to create the test. Commissioning is all about adequacy. If the original intention from planning that went into design, is it what has been built? Will it still meet the need of the users? That's what commissioning is. So commissioning is not just testing that it functions or it works, it's checking for adequacy, ensuring that the capacity that was intended can be met by what is actually built. When you are handing over, you're not handing over keys, taking pictures and shaking hands or doing launching. You are handing over documentation. In all of the processes that come before handing over, there are sets of output documents that we're going to be looking at, and they all come into the handover that goes into FM. By the time you get me to my facility in a seamless way has been delivered. And to make that possible, I'm going to move straight to talk about the proactive facility management, what I sum as everything you should have in place to be a proactive facility manager. You must have operational plans. These are plans that organizes your teams, your organizational structure, plans that manages space management, plans for different procedures, health and safety in your facility, just the normal plans, inspections, and the rest that you do on a regular basis. And then you have your maintenance plans, where you look at your assets and all the preventive maintenance and all the reactive maintenance you're going to pick up from inspections as well. And your management by walking around, you do regular routine walk around to take notes and engage with your users and your facility teams. And then you now have the emergency preparedness plan, which sits on all of this. After you have all of these 4 plans that are the normal plans, you now have the emergency preparedness and business continuity plan, which is your risk management plan. That's what you do to say, if everything has been planned carefully, what can go wrong? And if something goes wrong, how am I going to react? So that way you would have covered end to end of the normal and the abnormal, so that when the abnormal happens, you are prepared. You are not met by any kind of surprise when the abnormal happens. But in doing all of this, you must be having a regular reporting system in place. And your report must be tracking, trending, analyzing, setting data that is going to tell whether you are doing well or not, whether you are succeeding or you are not. All right. And then you need to also ensure that you are engaging with your users through surveys to get feedback from them on how you are doing with regards to the services you are rendering. And these surveys are two types of service. One is the first survey you will get to ask them how they want their service, how they want the things you're doing for them, how you should package your services. You can't decide what you give to your users on your own without consulting them. And then when you now deliver, you need to go back to find out from your users how you are doing, how they are perceiving the service that you are giving. Okay? For you to be successful as a facility manager, there are certain inputs that must go into your FM process. These are the things that come out of that entire life cycle. I told you that certain documentations will need to come out of that FM property development life cycle. As built drawings, comprehensive asset register, as built bills of quantities, construction snacks and different list remediation schedule, construction team and vendor details, equipment guarantees and warranties, manufacturers, operations and maintenance manuals, regulatory permits and other legal documentation, testing and commissioning results, contact information for equipment manufacturers or OEM reps, building systems and equipment specifications, equipment components and parts lists and recommended spare parts. You need to have these as basic information that you have on ground with which you are managing facilities. If they didn't come from that property development cycle, this documentation did not come out of it because you probably were not there from the onset to prompt their inclusion in the contracting and in the project delivery process. Then you have to reverse engineer the process of creating them. You have to have this documentation developed and put in place in your facility for you to have a proper facility management. If you go for any interview and you are asked what are the tools, what are the documents, what are the records that should be on ground, you need to know that these things are things that need to be on ground. And then as you make these decisions early, the earlier stage decisions help to reduce later stage rework and failures. Okay? Earlier stage decisions to spend on energy efficiency, for example, will save you a lot of money in energy costs. So the opportunity cost of error correction gets worse as the facility is going from design to procurement and construction to commissioning and testing to operations and maintenance. And the opportunity cost for savings reduction, cost savings, as it were, is reducing. Because think about it, the cost of making a change to a certain system, let's assume your plumbing system, when you are still having the building in drawing stage versus when you have finished painting and you have done all your tiling and the rest, the cost of making any change or any improvement is substantially higher at that later stage compared to at the early stage when you are still on paper. So we're looking at the FM as a participant in every stage, from planning to designing to construction to testing, commissioning, handover, and facility management. All right, I'm going to look quickly at setting critical operational strategy. Facility managers work with people. You must have the right people who have the right skills, have been trained, and they have been assigned to the kind of jobs that suit those skills. You must have an analysis of your manpower inventory, and you must be able to forecast your future manpower requirements and have a training program for those who are in the organization on how they're going to move from where they are to the next level in the knowledge and skills that they have. so that they have a path to the top. There's a growth path, and there's an opportunity for bringing people from outside. So you must know where the pool will be, where you can source new people to feed into your team. You must know your customers. Your customers have preferences. You must know who they are. You must know who are the decision makers in your customer groups. And you must know how to serve the various categories of customers you have. And the expectations of customers can be varied. So many customers, no two customers can have the same expectation. You cannot expect that if customer A is happy with my service, therefore customer B should also be happy. That would be the biggest mistake you can make about your customer. You must understand the expectation. Some customers already are angry that they spotted something wrong and had to call you. While some are happy that you responded quickly and you dealt with the situation. There are two different things here. One is already satisfied that when I call your attention, you are good at responding and dealing with things. The other one is looking at you as irresponsible for allowing me to get distracted to even notice that the AC is not working or to notice that the socket is burnt. Those are the kind of things we're talking about here. You must be proactive and you must know the kind of customer expectation you are dealing with. Because both customers I have just described are both equally correct. Just that one is probably giving you license to be lazy by always calling you to come and fix things, while the other is putting on your toes to know what you are supposed to be doing so you can do it right at all the time. If you do your normal routine inspections and management by walking around, no customer will observe any problem before you have observed it. Because before it becomes a full-blown problem for them to observe, you have picked it up. Do not make your work delivery a dragging delivery. Don't do things to make customers wait. Don't inconvenience your customers because you want to serve them. You are not doing them a favor. They are the one giving you a favor by giving you an opportunity to work for them. You must have care, respect, and courtesy. Facility management is a profession where we don't demand respect. We give respect and get it in return, because respect is what? Reciprocal. Now, don't under-promise and over-deliver. This is called to managing customer expectation. If you make them expect high, they will expect high. If you deliver slightly below that high, you have failed, right? Now, do not take this as a license to lower your customers' expectation below your service level agreement with them. Your expectations of the expectation of your customers must align with the service level you have agreed with them. That is contractual. That is the caveat to which you can live with this under-promise, not under-promise, and instead over-deliver. And then you must have a professional outlook in all that you do, while you're also taking care of costs. Many of us think that our customers should understand us that things are expensive, and as such, they should give us more money to do things. That's not how FM works. FM expects you, we expect you to have the least cost for doing things. Everything, you must know the cheapest way of doing it. So you must start with having a clear expectation, so that once the expectation is broken down into specifications, scope of work items, and service levels, you go for the cheapest way of achieving that, instead of trying to use money as the solution to all problems. You must know your facilities and service scope. You must have an asset register that is detailed and a live document. The asset register is not for you to package and go and keep. No, it's for you to work with on a day-to-day basis. You must understand the services that your customers need and deliver on those services. Specifications and standards. If you don't already have, try working on specifications and standards. Work procedures, step by step, to do a few things. Your critical tasks, personnel quality. What kind of quality do you expect of your personnel? What kind of skills should they have? Material standards, tools and equipment, health, safety, and environment. And then you must be proactive. FM is operated at 5 different levels. At the highest level, you are proactive. Everything you do is professional. Everything you do is planned by you. Everything you do is planned by you. Everything you do is something you came up with by yourself. That's proactive. Nobody calls you for anything. Nobody reminds you to do anything. That's proactive. That's the highest level of FM. You see ahead, you plan ahead, you execute, and there's no disruption whatsoever. At the second level, requests are coming in, which means you are missing some things. Things are breaking and customers are picking items to tell you. Your bosses are coming to spot issues. Your management is sending mandates for you to deal with, to improve. You're not the one proactively projecting them. That is the level of the request where you are getting things thrown at you. You must keep that to the barest minimum by being proactive, picking up things through inspections and having an emergency preparedness plan or a risk plan in place to anticipate things that can go wrong. At the third level, we call that the complaint level. This is the level at which somebody that has complained to you, that has made a request to you, has a cause to complain to you. You didn't do it well, come and do it again. You didn't do it on time, I'm not happy, and gives you negative feedback. That's complaint. That's the failure at the second level, and that's what you have to reduce to 0. But if you get to the point where you are even below the complaint level, where there's now escalation, a third party is being told about your inefficiencies or how bad your team or organization is working, then you are operating at the escalation level. So when you even get to that situation where things are now so bad that you're even telling people to use escalation as a tool to get things done, you are telling them to talk to your management so that management can approve ABC for you. You have a fundamental problem in your organization and yourself as a professional. And then you also have the lowest level, which we call the crisis level. This is the level at which you can't even dare go and do a survey to ask the customers what they think about your service, because you know you are already known as a crappy service provider. You can't ask them. They too are not even ready to ask you for anything again. They are not coming to you again. They are resorting to self-help. So when you see someone having a battery bank and a power pack and all of those things around it, sure, that person is trying to become a utility to himself for power. If you are taking a gallon of water because you are not too sure the tap will flow in the office so you can flush when you want to use the toilet, or have your own tissue just in case there's no tissue in the toilet and things like that, you are now operating a crisis environment where everybody are now fending for themselves. Your role no longer is required when you're operating in crisis. And you could easily be said to ask to leave. And then you must have documentation. Your job involves interfacing with people, interacting with people, and you must have documentation of all your activities. Minutes of meetings, details of your occupants, procedures and standards, HSC plans, statistics, records, and all of those must be on ground. When there are issues in your site and there are disruptions or there are emergencies or incidents, you must have a reporting mechanism for this. Some disruptions are planned, some are not. Whatever the case is, before you start responding to a disruption, you need to communicate. So this template, guide on service disruption notification, will be very helpful. Where you tell what just happened, the reason, potential impact, initial known cost, or if you don't know anything, you say we don't know, current action you are taking, estimated time of completion, when you are going to give the next follow-up, and then notify when the problem is done, when it's finally closed. This, as a small template, can be used to quickly notify your people through emails, through WhatsApp, through text messages, and they will reduce the pressure because you have told them when you will bring a follow-up report. And so you can focus and solve that problem. And this is a proactive way to solve issues and prevent issues from happening again. As for health and safety, it's very important that we have a health and safety procedure and standards on site. Job hazard analysis or job safety analysis, I will call them now, safety data sheets, daily toolbox talks, meetings, plan of HSE meetings, reports of fire drills, HSE audits, PPEs, security review. These are just some of the tools you will learn in the FM diploma on how to manage health and safety. You are responsible for every living soul in your facility. If they get injured, if they become ill or become uncomfortable or unproductive, you are the one that will you should show that duty of care to take care of things. Your job as an FM is that of an inspector. You go out all the time. If you spend more than 4 hours out of an 8-hour day on your desk, you have actually wasted that day. You should be up and about. You meet with your users. Experience what they experience. Mingle with them and ask them questions. Let them give you feedback, informal feedback on how your team is doing. Meet with your team at the point of work. If they know that you will show up randomly as part of your routine, they will not hope to do some shoddy job that they're going to blindside and cover up before you come up. That's something that you need to look at as well, because you need to be around what they are doing. And before you close any work order to say, oh, it has been done, we are closing it, you need to go and see. If you cannot be physically everywhere, the least you can do is put on your video. Look, show me what you have done. Because when you close it out, it is you attesting that you know that it has been done. And then your reporting should not only be to your bosses and the clients, your reporting should also be to the users. Users need to have a feel of what is happening around them, what improvements, what changes, how do they request for things. And you need to engage them before you start a service, engage them when you're doing the service so that they can give you their impact, so that they can give you their feedback. And then don't start what you don't plan. Okay, thank you. I can be me again. Yes, yes. Thank you. To get me back on. Okay. The FM Mastercraft Diploma runs for 3 months, 7 p.m., physical Saturdays p.m. And those who take the physical option are also welcome to attend the virtual classes, from wherever you are. And it's not, this is not restricted to anywhere you probably are located right now, and does not have any time constraint, because you can actually close from work every day and participate in the program. There are assignments, assessments, and an exam at the end of it. The FMMC package guarantees you lifetime mentorship with us. Your career planning, your entire process of being upgraded from one role to the next as you grow your career is now something that we work with you on. The entire alumni of the FMMC are in one platform where we oversee and watch over everybody perpetually. So it's a lifetime package that you are buying into. And for those who are into businesses, we have different kind of partnerships that we can go into to support your business to help it grow. And then we are providing for the first time a flexible arrangement that is so flexible. The only flexible arrangement we had was to pay 50% down and pay the other 50% the month, 1 month into the program. But with the help of the VFD microfinance bank option, for just 3%, this was a carefully well negotiated no additional cost kind of deal that you won't get anywhere else. For just 3% interest, they are willing to pay your tuition and you pay over a 12-month program. And trust me, we went into this guarantee deliberately because we know that the FM industry in Nigeria needs a lot of people who are probably struggling to have the bulk, you know, the lump sum with which to pay for the training that can set them up on the pedestal of progress. We also know that within 6 months of completing the program, you will definitely, you know, if you follow the rigor that we have set in the program, you will definitely have your feet planted on a profitable job, and you won't have any issues with paying for the loans. But we also provided for those who can afford it, in incentives that can reduce the cost for you. Team, just think about it. A team bonus of 20%. That is a whooping 70,000 naira. If you have 5, 10, 15 people, each person gets 70,000 naira off. But of course, not all of us are MDs, CEOs, association leaders that have a group of people that we can bring on the program at once. So for those of us who want to get on the program, it's just you and you want to get a benefit right now, you have my 50,000 naira award already on the table between now and 2nd of July. So that for me is a giveaway that helped me fulfill my mission of making the maximum impact on people's lives. Because this career footing, professional footing, for me is the most significant impact I can make on anybody. The moment you have the source of livelihood, guaranteed source of livelihood, you are set for life. If somebody is giving you fish and somebody is giving you a net and the skill to go and fish, which one would you prefer? That for me is fulfillment, and that's why I'm doing this. So take advantage of all of our bonuses and let's see how we work together to move you in the right direction in your career. All right, thank you very much. We've seen the entries for the poll. It's close to 80%. So I'm going to leave it running in the background while I continue with my presentation. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so I'm just going to quickly talk about service quality in facility management. What does quality mean? User-friendly, aesthetic appeal, nice features, proven reliability, lower cost, good after-sales service, manifest durability, simple maintainability, perceived value, environmentally friendly, prompt delivery, easier availability. These are things that one customer or the other perceive as quality. But the definition of quality is very straightforward. It's broken down into 4 components. It is the process of confirming customer expectation. That's component 1. You must confirm customer expectation. You can't provide quality without asking the customer. Establish performance standards and metrics based on those expectations, measuring the degree to which current products and services meet the standards and metrics, and identifying and implementing improvements to satisfy the standards and metrics. The way you can communicate your understanding of customer expectation is to establish them using standards and metrics. What are standards and metrics? They are objective way of quantifying services. So if I take electricity provision, for example, I'm talking about things like wattage range, voltage range, fluctuations, acceptable fluctuations, and so on and so forth. I need to quantify what the customer really needs by providing electricity for me in standards and metrics. And that applies to virtually every FM service. It is after that we can now say, we are going to compare what we are doing now with what the customer expects and put improvements in place to ensure that we can do better. So whether it's for the customer, it's clean, everything works well, there are no issues, you know, and there's compliance to regulatory compliance, then you are doing well. The whole essence of quality is to get it right the first time. Pay attention to details, improve customer satisfaction, save money, and save time. It starts with you. You must think about the inputs, process, or throughputs, and the outputs that goes into everything that you do. Only by improving the inputs to a process can you influence the output or result. Results are not magical. The inputs must be done. And mind you, the input that you put into your process is somebody else's output. So it's a system way of thinking. I cannot sit down and wait for the report from my technicians, because if that report is late or faulty, my own report at the end of the month is either late or faulty. So what do? I put a system in place that helps me to influence them by reminding them, by tracking and checking that they're putting the right data on ground to be able to have my report for me as at the time I need it. I am being concerned about their outputs, because their output is going to become my own inputs. And then we must continuously focus extensively on the customers. And some of the things we need to measure: rework. Should it be going down or going up? Going down, of course. You cannot be doing rework and saying you are doing quality. Customers' complaints should be going up or going down. If the customer complains frequently and the complaints are increasing, are you doing better? No, complaints should be going down. What about recommendation? Should it be going up or going down? What about process efficiency and things initiatives you introduce? What about mean time between failure? Everything that you track must have a way to show whether you are doing well or doing poorly by the trend that it should tend towards. And you must track this to show you have contribution to the organization. And then your key performance indicators. These are the things that you measure and report on that shows the relevance of the service you deliver. Every service that you deliver as an FM has what we call the service level agreement, which describes how you are performing with regards to how the service is being delivered. Key performance indicators is how you are performing with regards to how the service is contributing to the organization's strategic objectives and goals. And that's why you see high level things like profitability, expenditure, customer satisfaction, customer retention, employee recruitment, turnover, and productivity as issues that come in here. I'm going to wrap up with, sorry, there is a slide, yes. Employees. Your employees are the people on the shop floor are the exact mirror or image that you portray to your users. Treat employees as you want to be treated, with open communication as to what works and policy standards that are expected of them, in such a way that they feel valued and are an important part of your FM operation. Treat them critical care facilities. Yes, you can actually become a specialist in hospital facility management. Where I work, I currently in a fitness company. The regardless facility officers and not facility managers. My question is, what's the difference between facility officer and facility manager? Facility manager is your profession, it's not your designation. Whatever your company designates you as is your designation. just like being an accountant. An accountant can be a credit officer, right? So it does not change him from being an accountant. If I cannot participate this year, is there a plan for next year on the FM Mastercard? Yes, the Mastercard runs from in January, runs in May, and runs in August. They are the 3 times we run them. So yes, you can participate. Yes, there's a record of the class. You all have access to the video recording of the class. So that's definitely going to be sent to all of us. Were there questions put on the chat? We say we put the questions on the Q&A. What's the relationship between FM diploma and IFMA? Please explain. The FM diploma is a Max-Migold creation. It's our solution to the FM competency gap for Nigeria. Solve the problem. You professionals who understand and can practice FM in Nigeria. IFMA is an organization. They provide credentials and certifications that are done. For the slides, so drop your email address on the chat. If not, how to get the slide, please. You're all connected to us. We're going to send more information. But I'm going to announce now what I promised I was going to announce all along. Tell your friends who are probably not here at this time, who didn't wait to the end. We're going to provide a certificate of training together with the slides for this training to everybody who registers for the FM Mastercraft Diploma. So if you register for the August batch, or you register for the January batch next year, or you register for the May batch 2023, go ahead and do your registration and pay a registration fee of 7,500, and you'll be automatically entitled to the certificate for this free training, as well as the slides deck for this free training. So if you register and you get the certificate, you already have something to show for your introduction into FM, for the little learning and knowledge you have gained in these 2 days while you are preparing yourself for the main program coming up. All right, I have a Christopher's hand up. Can you please unmute and speak? Christopher, I had to go ahead. All right, who else hands up? Who wants to speak into the meeting? Who else who's hands up there so we can promote them? There are 10 of them, so promote all of them. All right, Yejide Adeni, please go ahead with your question. Unmute and speak. Yejide, can you speak now? Yes, can I register this year and commence training in January next year? Yes, please go ahead. All right, let's hear from Olajoke. Please unmute and ask your question. Olajoke, are you there? Olajoke, please ask your question. All right, Joshua Gabriel, your hand is up. So we are encouraging you now to speak if you want to. Joshua Gabriel. maybe these raised their hands by mistake. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Hello, sir.
Okay, let me hear from Lushola. Please ask your question.
Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Olusola Oyelowo. Mr. Robabi, I work with Women Board Limited. Thank you for this presentation. It's been wonderful since yesterday till today. Well, as promised, I think you promised that before that we're going to have the soft copy of all this training. But I would like to ask, one of the quagmire in the FM is having tenants or having customers who, for one reason or the other, despite the fact that their inability to pay for those services still runs, the reality is not faced because they wanted to enjoy the services and their capability of paying for those services are not in place. In that scenario, what do you advise would do? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Goyelowo. You see, service delivery goes with contracts, right? And those contracts are supposed to be well written and interpreted to the whoever is subscribing to that contract to understand the implications. A contract, if well written, should be able to describe the actions that needs to be taken when there is a breach, because somebody who is enjoying the service and not paying for the service is in breach of a contract. What are the remedies in the contract? So to attempt that question, we have to visit on a case-by-case basis what form the relationship between the two parties. What is the service level agreement? What is the level of detail written into that service level agreement between that relationship was put in place? And I can tell you, many people are owing today, not because they couldn't have paid, not because they didn't have the means to pay, but because that contract, that documentation was not detailed enough to bind them and make them prioritize your own services for payments. Many are in real distress and they could easily file for bankruptcy so that their debt can be forgiven or treated using a bankruptcy rules, but they wouldn't because they are not really in bankruptcy. They can if they want to. Many can move out of your service, move out of your spaces to save themselves the embarrassment of owing and being in breach if the consequences are serious enough to make them leave. They won't leave because the consequences are not serious enough. You don't have what it takes in the contract to make them pay. That's the reality of such situations. So we approach those kind of cases on a case-by-case basis. Olajumoke, are you there? Okay. Yes, Max-Migold account details. Somebody's asking for it. Can you please put it on the chat? So tell all those who are in this meeting, we're going to send another email and messages out. You pay your registration fee, and then you get the slides and you get a certificate for this training. It's like an interim certificate pending when you get the main training certificates. Okay, that's how we have structured it this time. We are making it free training that goes with free certificates, but the free certificates come with condition that you will advance your career. The whole reason we have invested in these 2 days of free training is so that you can advance your career, not for you to come in and take 1 or 2 snippets and walk away and say, I've become a facility manager. That's not our goal. We don't want to demarket the FM profession by pretending that a 2 days training can cover for a lifetime of professional training. Chukwuka Ngozi, please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, we are with you. Go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. That's Babalola.
Yes, sir. I'm Babalola by then.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, sir. Firstly, I would say it's a great privilege for me to join the program since yesterday. So I'm an undergraduate, currently mechanical engineer undergraduate, and I'm doing my IT at Adova PLC at the Facility Management Department. So when one of my bosses sent us the link to register for it, I was kind of like saying it's a great opportunity for me to learn from the industry experts at in the facility management by the different facilitators that will be speaking at the Max-Migold event. So I would say it's been an eye-opener, and it has also further reinforced my love and to tilt toward that profession as a facility manager. So I would say this is also a step in the right direction for me to be in this program. So I would say I've gotten value definitely already from yesterday to today. So I would say thank you very much, sir, Mr. Paul, for the opportunity and for answering the call to offer this program and to provide leadership and training in the facility management industry in Nigeria. Maximum respect, sir. Thank you very much, sir. I go value.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Babalola. Whose hand is up again? I'll take. Okay, Olajide, are you up?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, welcome.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be the part of the lecture yesterday. I never have the experience of what they call a facility management until 2 weeks ago. I submitted my CV. When after the interview, they now told me that they're looking for facility manager who does not have the experience. But this week on Facebook, I just saw the link, the facility management. I said, wow, this is a good course that I'm looking, even though I don't have the experience, if I don't even heard about it, but I tapped from the opportunity. Sir, I want to appeal to you, sir, because if I look the fees of the diploma to have the certificate, training certificate, you know that's in the high side to compare to the economy of today. Not everybody can afford it. Even though despite that the 20%, this thing that the bank, microfinance bank, everything, sir, yeah, for my side, I don't know how can you bring everything down to the people that cannot afford the price. That's why I'm calling to agree to what.
Everybody has to make an investment. Facility management is an expensive profession, right? Everybody has to make an investment to put a foot in the door. Let me give you a quick story to let you get a sense of this value. I was going to teach a program as a lecturer in the University of Lagos for the Masters in Facility Management program. I met a former senior in school who came into Unilag and we're going up into 2 different classes. He was going into one class as a student. I was going to another class as a lecturer. The kind of professional growth you will have over and above those who you came from the same discipline with is going to be dramatic. Dramatic. Now, the scarcity at the top in FM right now in the industry is making the demand for FM so high that those who know FM, those who can defend their experience and practice in FM are already being paid a premium over and above those they graduated from school the same time with. Let me give you a shocker. People who left from NYC 2 years ago, last year, that came into facility management and professionalized the facility management within 2 years are already earning over 150,000 naira compared to others they graduated with. Most of our graduates have changed jobs at least once in 3 years because of the pressure to go and earn higher. It is us as part of talent management to tell you, you have to stay in a position and be stable in that position before you start listening to another person calling you to come and take up a role, because the demand is high. And then the resources for training facility managers right now are very limited. How many programs in Africa today can you compare to what we are putting on the table right now? If I were to be in business of facility management, just making the money from operations, winning contract or executing contract, and not have the time to build this capacity for all of you, how would this be possible? My dear, you need to make that investment choice. All of us are making choices additional on a daily basis. If you decide waited 2017 to 2018, 2019, they came back in 2022 to say the job, everywhere I go for interview, I'm not being shortlisted. Diploma are being shortlisted and given the jobs. That's what's happening in the market today. So don't shoot yourself in the foot by saying it is a gain to yourself that it's expensive. Okay, please, I just don't think about it. How much is that compared to what we have packaged? Compared to what we are going to earn? Many of you are going to have salary increments and new jobs that are going to cover the cost of this training in 3 months. 3 months, there's no return on investment that's better than that in any way. Your entire investment, your education from primary, secondary to university, if you add them up and ask yourself where you are in your career today, you will know that the arrow is very poor and very low. This is a step improvement that you can do with this investment. So don't look at 6 opportunities, 6 bonuses, and you can't find one that can fit you as well as I can. Opera, will you be the last person to speak? Or should I give it to Emmanuel? Opera, your hand is up. Emmanuel, your hand is up.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
One of you will be the last person to comment in this class.
Hello, sir.
Your hand is still not
Hello,
down.
sir.
Okay, let's
Hello,
hear from
sir.
Emmanuel.
Hello.
Emmanuel, go ahead. Opera, you can hold on.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I want to ask a question pertaining to the payment. You said we should pay 7,500 naira. Is it for the free class to have the
No. The certificate is only available for those. The free class certificate is only available for those who are committing to take the diploma.
Okay.
It's not available for everybody.
I wanted
So
to
the
take the
money you
diploma.
are paying at 7.5 is your registration for the diploma.
For the diploma. So actually, sir, I wanted to take for the diploma, but the message came late. So I'm planning towards next year batch.
You can pay registration now against next year. It's fine.
I can pay the registration now against next year.
Now,
sir.
yes, against next year. You can register for next batch.
Okay, sir. I will do that, sir.
All right,
How will I
thank
get
you.
the account number, sir?
That it's on the chat. Scroll through the chat. You see the account number.
Okay, sir. I will submit it to the email to the proof.
Yes, the email is training@max-migold.com. That's where you send the evidence of payment with your name to.
Okay, sir.
That's the manner, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Opera.
Okay. Yeah, good. I'm Franklin Opera. I work with a facility company as the office administrator, and then invariably, I mean, partially, I would say I am in the position of facility management also, but not have really gotten the professional training for the job. I'm happy to be in this section. I appreciate the CEO. It's a very nice initiative and a good one. So my question goes like this: in the facility management, the training you talked, the diploma you talked about, would there be a recommended app that will be introduced during the training that a company can
I can barely hear you, Franklin. Come again. Come again with your question.
Okay, my question goes like this. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you well now.
Okay, my question goes like this. During the diploma training, would there be an application, a software that will also be used during the training to train the worker, the participants on how to use the software for their facility management processes, which they can also introduce where they are working?
Yes, there is. We have a technology class and we have a live demo of the software. Yes.
Okay. Secondly, there is this question, there is this issue we had in my workplace concerning diesel purchase and common services. Sorry, diesel common services and the generators. I mean, servicing of the generators. Now, one of our clients, we had to overhaul a generator, and after overhauling it, we billed them for the overhauling, stating clearly that it wasn't, I mean, when they objected, they are not supposed to pay for common for the overhauling. But we made them understand that the common services is not, I mean, the overhauling is not covered in the common services. So their legal team wrote to us that they can't be paying for they can't be paying for overhauling while they are paying for common services.
And yeah, your question is very complex. Okay. It goes back again to the kind of question I answered before. What kind of service level agreements you have in place with them, right? Many of us don't even realize that there are implications for service level agreements. If you don't make it watertight enough, you can create all these kind of gray areas. When we say pay a consultant to help you structure, you say it's a lawyer you're going to pay. How does a lawyer know how to put together service level agreement for services? The lawyers just take their percentage on the share and they move on. They don't have a clue what they've written down there. You don't even have a clue what they've written down there. Your contract, your SLA is the guidance to that solution. And until that SLA is reviewed, I can't even give you an answer. But there's a few guides I can give you. Occupants, they pay for what they consume. Their rent should already cover for the assets, including the generator in the facility. So buying a new generator, overhauling it will not be occupants' responsibility, to be a landlord responsibility. It's going to come out of rent because they are also renting that generator. All right. But again, the structure of the contract you have as both parties needs to be brought to the table for me to review, to give you an answer to that. Each of those contract-related issues, they are all case-by-case matter. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thanks very much.
Right.
One more thing. Okay. Now, in purchase of diesel, are we supposed to be purchasing the diesel for them? And then when we purchase the diesel, are we supposed to charge extra for procuring that diesel for them? That's my question. Sorry.
Are you being paid a fee for service? Let me give you a few models.
Yes.
Are you being paid a fee for service? If you are being paid a management fee, an amount to serve us, right? And then we are paying for everything else you do. If you buy diesel on our behalf using our own money, it will be covered in the management fee we have paid you now. Why do you want to pay me extra when I'm already paying you a management fee to work for me?
No, we buy with our money, and then the money is tied down.
Sorry. That one is a very complex matter. You are mixing financing with FM. Come to the FM diploma, I will teach you all of that. I have a question that says, shed more light on asset register. Come to the FM diploma. I have another question that says, what are FM methodologies? Come to the FM diploma.
Okay.
I have another question that says, okay, please, the email, the survey link, I want everybody to fill it too, please. Don't make a mistake, the GPS survey. I want to add all the other questions you have into that place. Mojib, do you have a question or a comment? Mojib, Adiola.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Mention your name, let me know who's talking. I expect Adiola to be the one.
Okay.
Please, everybody stay calm.
This is Adiola. This is Adiola speaking. Good evening. Thank you for the privilege for this training. So I would like to ask, from all that you have said, for someone who's looking at starting after engaging in your course, like starting his own project, his own company, an FM company, with the diploma, is it a good startup certification to start with, or he needs to go further? That's my first question.
Yes,
and then my second question is, it's obviously a very, it's obviously like a precision kind of profession. So when you're starting, what kind of staffing are you looking at? Is it you and have like a minimum of like 3 people? What are the kind of startup requirements you would need as an for an FM?
Okay, so when you are starting an FM company, there are several processes to start with, but the basic one is gain the competence, be an FM yourself, right?
Okay.
And that's what the FM diploma will do for you. Then, once you have gained that, then set up a business that follows all the regulatory compliance, all of those CAC, FRS, blah, blah, blah registration, right? And then sit down to articulate the services you want to, because FM is very broad, right? What services do I want to deliver, and what target market do I want to target? You create something like a brochure or a company profile, right? And then you start with business development, which is marketing and sales. If you don't get a job, you can't employ somebody. It makes no sense starting an FM company by employing people and renting offices.
Okay.
So more of that on the business course in the FM diploma. So I hope to see you there. That's Adiola, right?
Yeah.
Adiola?
Yes, Adiola, yes. Right, I'll be there, definitely. Yes, yes, I'll be there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so the last one will be Mojid. Mojid, are you willing to speak now? If not, I'll transfer it to Chuku Joseph.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Mojid is speaking, go ahead.
Please, can you tell us more about this VFD microfinance package for registration?
Okay, the VFD, okay. VFD microfinance package is to relieve those who don't want to pay a lump sum. Many of us have our life so structured that once the 150K come or 100K come, it's already apportioned, you know. But then you want to move up to 200K or 300K, and you don't know how to. You've been doing this from year to year, stuck in the same ruts, right? And you want to make the step improvement, but you've not been able to save, right? So when you take the VFD, what they do is that they will pay your tuition on your behalf. When they pay your tuition on your behalf, what you will now be doing is you will now be paying them back over 12 months at 3% per month interest. That's the summary of the package.
3% per month.
3% per month, yes.
Okay.
We have to negotiate it to bring it to that low for us to not feel the bites.
All right, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All right, that's Mojid, and that's the last person to speak. Thank you very much, everybody. I've announced to you the 6 bonuses, just to make it, to refresh it. The VFD one, which is the 12 months payment, the 50% down, 50% later, 1 month later, the 20% for group, 5 or more, the MD's special bonus of 50,000 naira for the first 200 people to come in to the program between now and 2nd of July. Just take a 50K off and pay the difference as your tuition for whichever batch you are entering in for. I've also announced that there's an alumni bonus of 15%, which can be given to you by any alumni of this program that has qualified in the past. And then for those who sign up for this FMMC diploma, you are entitled to the free training certificate as well as the slides for the training. Every other person who wants to sign up for the May or the January batch of next year can go ahead and register now. So we have you on the student list in advance, and you already have a certificate in your hand with which you can start showing that you've gained some learning and skill in facility management. So thank you very much. I hope to see you again, and I hope to see every one of us in the FM diploma. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye. So if you've not picked up the links and the message on the chats, you can stay back to pick them up. We're not closing the webinar immediately. So you can pick up the links, you can pick up the information. For you, Nicholas, who's running a cleaning service, you can actually upgrade your cleaning service to include FM services by coming into the diploma program. What does the survey keep stating? Email not sent. Thank you. What's the meaning of that? I wonder what Ibrahim is saying. Let the person check that out. All right, thanks guys, bye-bye.